Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious is a short essay by Carl Jung, which details the major aspects of his theory of individuation. In particular, it introduces the three major unconscious archetypes that an individual must recognize and integrate in order to become a more complete human being. These archetypes and stages are that of the shadow, the anima, and the wise old man, respectively. For females, the equivalent archetypes would be the animus and the wise old woman. The essay is collected with two further essays, which make up the first section of Volume 9 of Jung's collected works. We proceed now with a simplified abridgment of the text. The hypothesis of a collective unconscious may initially seem strange, but becomes more familiar over time. The concept of the unconscious, once overshadowed by materialism, has re-emerged in medical psychology. Initially, it referred to repressed or forgotten contents, with Freud viewing it as personal and functional. However, beneath the personal unconscious lies a deeper, inborn layer, the collective unconscious. This universal aspect contains similar contents and behaviours across all individuals, forming a common psychic substrate. Psychic existence is recognised through contents capable of consciousness, with personal unconscious contents being feeling-toned complexes, while the collective unconscious comprises archetypes. The term archetype has historical roots, appearing in the works of Philo Judaeus and Irenaeus, and is linked to the image of God. It signifies primordial types or universal images present since ancient times, which manifest in myths and fairy tales. Myths reveal the psyche's nature, yet explanations often overlook this, focusing instead on external phenomena. Ultimately, the psyche holds the images that inspire myths. Tribal lore is sacred and dangerous, with esoteric teachings seeking to unveil the psyche's hidden aspects. This holds true for world religions, which present revealed knowledge through glorious images, making the secrets of the soul accessible. However, the more beautiful and comprehensive these images become, the further they drift from individual experience. Psychology has been hindered by religious formulas that overshadow immediate experience. As symbols evolve, they can become banal, leading individuals to seek the allure of Eastern philosophies. Brother Nicholas of Flue, a Swiss mystic, experienced a profound vision known as the Trinity vision, which he depicted in a mandala. He struggled to understand this intense experience, ultimately interpreting it as a glimpse of the Holy Trinity. His original vision, however, was one of divine wrath, akin to the apocalyptic imagery in Revelation. This terrifying experience required significant assimilation to fit into his psyche, leading him to reconcile it with established dogma, transforming the raw intensity into the more palatable concept of the Trinity. This illustrates how dogmatic symbols can help integrate overwhelming experiences of the divine, preventing inner conflict while maintaining the significance of such encounters. Similarly, Jakob Boehme reconciled his vision of a wrathful God with Christian dogma, aided by alchemical concepts. However, the Reformation's iconoclasm shattered sacred images, leading to a loss of meaning and a chronic poverty of symbols. This disintegration reflects a search for new, effective images, often found in Eastern philosophies. The Romans willingly adopted Asian cults, but Christianity thrived among the Germanic tribes because it resonated with existing archetypes. Over centuries, however, Christianity evolved into something that might surprise its founder. Just as the Romans sought initiation in foreign mysteries, the West can assimilate Eastern forms. The decline of Greek and Roman gods mirrored the fate of Christian symbols. As people realized, they lacked an understanding of their meanings. Today, the impoverishment of symbols poses a challenge. Can we adopt foreign symbols without losing our identity? Instead of feigning connection to Eastern traditions, we should acknowledge our spiritual poverty and the loss of our Christian heritage. This void often leads to the rise of bleak ideologies. Embracing spiritual poverty allows for a deeper introspection, free from the allure of superficial symbols. Our intellect has achieved remarkable advancements, yet our spiritual foundation has deteriorated. Despite our scientific discoveries, we face a void in meaning as we grasp for wisdom that feels increasingly irrelevant. This disconnection leads to a sense of spiritual poverty, where the intellect usurps the spirit's rightful place. The journey of the soul leads to the depths of the psyche. This encounter with the unknown can be unsettling, as it reveals a presence beyond human control. Many people have recurring dreams about water, a common symbol for the unconscious. Water represents the valley spirit, embodying the unconscious psyche. Descent into these depths is necessary for spiritual ascent, despite the conscious mind's resistance to this idea. Many view spirit as something lofty, while water symbolizes earthy instincts and the unconscious. This unconscious is often misperceived as merely personal, but it connects us to a collective experience. The common belief that exploring the unconscious leads to egocentric subjectivity overlooks its potential for deeper understanding and healing. When one gazes into the water's mirror, they confront their true self, hidden behind the persona. This encounter is a courageous test, often avoided as it reveals our shadow, the darker aspects of our personality. Acknowledging the shadow is essential for personal growth, as it allows us to access the collective unconscious and its helpful insights. The journey into the depths of the psyche leads to a boundless expanse of uncertainty, where distinctions blur and we experience unity with the world. However, this connection poses a danger, as it can lead to losing one's sense of self, a fear deeply rooted in primitive consciousness. Throughout history, rituals and dogmas have served as barriers to protect against the perils of the unconscious. When these symbols weaken, chaos can ensue. Without these protective measures, the darkness of the unconscious may overwhelm consciousness, leading to profound existential crises. Mankind teeters on the edge of actions it performs, yet cannot control. While desiring peace, it prepares for war, revealing its powerlessness against itself. We perceive ourselves as masters of consciousness, but stepping into the shadow reveals we are objects of unseen factors. This realization can provoke panic, challenging our perceived supremacy. Ignorance offers no security. Understanding the psyche's unpredictability is crucial. Our current psychological state reflects a loss of symbolism, revealing a secret life within the unconscious, where spirit and nature intertwine. Those who have experienced its depths seek to salvage its treasures while remaining anchored in consciousness. They become fishers, aware of the timeless significance of their actions. The water reflects our image, but also conceals creatures like the Nixie, a magical feminine figure representing the Anima. Critics may dismiss these beings as mere projections of emotional states, yet they embody ancient spirits tied to nature. The psyche's complexity arises from introjection, not projection, as we navigate the allure and dangers of these figures. The anima, or soul, is a dynamic, living essence, historically linked to the breath of life and the transformative nature of existence. A being with a soul is a living being, as the soul animates life. God breathed life into Adam, and so the soul entices the inert matter to live, much like Eve convinced Adam of the apple's allure. Without the soul's vitality, man would succumb to idleness. The anima, a natural archetype, embodies the unconscious and influences our moods and impulses. While she represents one aspect of the unconscious, her femininity often leads to projection onto women. The anima touches the numinous, embodying both good and bad, transcending conventional morality. She connects us to ancient ideals, revealing the eternal struggle between man and his soul, which can manifest as both light and darkness. The encounter with the anima is the masterpiece of individual development, testing one's spiritual and moral courage. It represents psychic facts previously external to man, often hidden in maternal influence, which can either lead to lifelong attachments or inspire greatness. In antiquity, she appeared as a goddess. In medieval times, as Mary, Queen of Heaven. Modernity has seen a rise in marital insecurity, with the anima projecting onto the opposite sex, complicating relationships. This has contributed to the mistaken belief in sexuality as the root of psychological disturbances. Engaging with the anima requires more than intellectual understanding. It demands personal experience. The anima embodies chaotic life urges, but also possesses hidden wisdom, revealing the meaning in chaos. As one confronts her, the chaotic aspects diminish, allowing for a new understanding of life's laws. Ultimately, wisdom and folly coexist within the anima, reflecting the complexity of existence, where meaning emerges from the chaos of life. The anima and life itself may seem meaningless without interpretation, but within chaos lies a hidden order and purpose. Man's understanding can discern this order, revealing a deeper meaning behind the anima's capriciousness. However, in turbulent life situations, traditional interpretations often fail, leading to a moment of collapse and surrender. This defeat allows for the emergence of the archetype of meaning, akin to the anima as the archetype of life. The unconscious thinks in ways that pave the path for solutions, as illustrated by a theological student's dream involving a black and white magician discussing lost keys to paradise, symbolizing the quest for understanding and meaning in life. The dream revealed an old king as a symbol of authority seeking eternal rest. When the king dies, the anima awakens as a black horse representing unruly passions. The horse led the dreamer to a desert, symbolizing spiritual isolation, but also to the keys of paradise, which signify individuation and self-discovery. Paradise, akin to the Garden of Eden, represents a mandala of individuation. The black and white magician, who finds these keys, embodies the duality of good and evil, reflecting the unresolved moral conflict within the Christian psyche. This dream illustrates the interplay of opposites, resonating with Eastern philosophies that emphasize the reconciliation of good and evil. The dream suggests that understanding this balance can lead to enlightenment, akin to the wisdom embodied by figures like Zarathustra, who navigates the complexities of existence in a world devoid of traditional meaning. The magician is related to the archetype of the wise old man, akin to figures like Hermes and Orpheus, which represents an autonomous form of thinking. This archetype embodies both positive and negative aspects, reflecting the duality inherent in all archetypes. The shadow, anima, and wise old man can be experienced as personified figures, while other archetypes symbolize transformation through situations and means. The symbolic process is an experience of images that often follows a rhythm of opposites, beginning with a challenging situation and culminating in higher consciousness. A significant danger arises when archetypal images remain unconscious, potentially leading to possession, particularly in cases of anima possession. Such experiences can manifest in psychosis, revealing the autonomy of archetypes. The distinction between insanity and neurosis lies in the degree of consciousness's control over these archetypal figures. Integration of the unconscious into consciousness is essential for individuation, a process that synthesizes these elements into a cohesive sense of self. The individuation process reflects the natural course of life, where individuals become what they inherently are. However, consciousness often disrupts this smooth development, leading to a need for synthesis between conscious awareness and instinctual archetypes. This synthesis resembles primitive psychotherapy, as evident in rituals like the Australian Aborigines' ancestral identification or the Helios apotheosis in the Isis Mysteries. Therapeutic methods in psychology aim to bring unconscious contents to consciousness and integrate them through recognition. Yet, civilized individuals often dissociate to avoid risks, making mere recognition insufficient for meaningful action. The integration of archetypes requires a dialectical approach, often involving a dialogue with the self, akin to an inner conversation with one's guiding spirit. This process is dramatic, marked by ups and downs, and is expressed through dream symbols and mythological motifs that illustrate transformation. While this lecture highlights key archetypes like the shadow, anima, and wise old man, they are explored more fully in my other works. And that brings us to the end of Archetypes of the Collective Unconscious. We shall continue from here with the following essay from Volume 9 of the Collected Works, which concerns the concept of the collective unconscious. Please remember to subscribe to and support the channel, if you are able to. Thank you for listening.